when you get a match like the weekend, are you good at letting it go? Because you kind of, I'm sure the entire dressing room is thinking we should have won that game. You don't. Does that sort of sit on you for a while, or are you quite good now at just saying no, just move on?
You know what? Before I used to be much worse than I am now. I used to probably find it hard to let go of things, especially from a team and obviously individual performances. But it's one of them things you have to move on so quick because there's such a quick turnaround in this league. You know, it's 46 games, so there's not really time to dwell on things. So yeah, I think now, you know, we've got to pick ourselves up. We know we should have won the game comfortably, but we have to go again.
But that's part of football, isn't it? And it's part of it's growth, I guess, as much as anything, because you can't, good or bad, you can't let it sit on you for too long, because otherwise it's going to affect the way that you're playing and what happens in the next game, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, for example, if we had lost that game, if we had won that game, there's another game around the corner, so you have no time to, you know, celebrate a win or also be upset about a loss. So it's just about finding the right balance and just being level.
And do you find that, because obviously the result is a big part of anything, but your personal performance, if you play really well, do you feel about it differently now than you might have done a year, 2 years ago?
No, I think I always look at the team first. I know it's cliche to say that, but if the team's winning, then everyone's happy. So most importantly, I play my game and I score goals or whatever it may be to give the team the 3 points, not me. So I think as an individual, you always come second to the team.
So is the team better now than it was this time last year or a couple of years ago?
I don't know about a couple of years ago, but I'd say it was better than what we was last year for sure. Defensively, going forward, I think we've got more options in attacking areas now. I think defensively, we was at the beginning of the season we wasn't so great, but then we found our form again defensively because last year we was top. And yeah, it's just about, you know, us attackers trying to win games for them and the defenders to try and keep as much clean sheets as possible.
Yeah. And I think that's, on the eye test, that's what it seems like. It seems like you're getting closer to where you want to be, but that last step is probably the most difficult of going from being a good team to being one that consistently grinds out results.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between being a mid-table team and pushing for playoff side. And I think we've shown glimpses this year for sure, but I don't think we've been nowhere near as consistent as we should be. And obviously the pressure's on us to deliver, especially us front boys, to go and win games for the boys, you know.
Yeah. And for you personally, how do you see your consistency this year?
I think I started a bit shaky at the beginning of the season, and then I found myself with obviously playing and rhythm, and I think, yeah, I've been playing well, it's been going well, but on the flip side, I know I could be sitting here on 10 goals now, and obviously I'm not, so I put that pressure on myself to deliver for the team. I know what I can do, I know my abilities, and nothing changes from my side. I just need to keep pushing and trying to win games for us.
Because in the sort of couple of years you've been here and talking to you, you can see how much you want it. You can see you're one of those players that will give everything to this to try and get what you want out of it. That can never be a bad thing, but do you almost have to let it go a little bit just to give yourself a break sometimes?
Well, I think over the years since I've been here, I've learned to let go of things. You know, it's no secret, I've had a tough time at the beginning, and it's been levels of showing individual moments, but then nowhere near enough consistency. And I think only now I'm coming into the thick of it, where I believe, you know, I'm putting in good performances, consistent performances, and output most importantly. So yeah, I think for me, as I said, nothing changes. I just need to keep working hard and not try and change anything in my game and keep trying to score goals.
Yeah. You said believe in the middle of that. Is belief a big part of it? Because you're right, I think you have been, this is easily the most consistent you've been at City, and you're a real threat pretty much game in, game out, which maybe wouldn't have been the case when you first arrived.
Yeah, I think the belief is everything, but it's also a thing of confidence and knowing you're going to play the next game. You know, sometimes in a game psychologically you might be thinking that you're going to come off in the 60th, 70th minute, so you're trying to rush things in the game. Whereas there's been moments of recent, I know I'm going to be on the pitch, so maybe my approach and the way my decision making has changed. So yeah, I think the belief is everything in football and trying to reach that top level.
And it's end product, isn't it? Because you've got the goals returned, the assists as well this season. That was kind of it wasn't missing, but it wasn't as consistent as you would have wanted. Now it is. You're on course for double figures. Those are the kind of areas that you should be hitting.
Yeah, 100%. But I knew I could do this. Like it's not no surprise to me. As I said before, I probably should be on 8, 9, 10 goals. I've missed chances of recent which I should be putting in the back of the net. But for me, it's just about attacking the right areas and being in the right positions. And I know the goals will follow through.
So this weekend against a West Brom team that have been known for a good few years now for being a good defensive unit. You've played well as a team away from home, apart from a couple of exceptions. What are your hopes going into a game like this?
Well, first and foremost, we want to win the game. I think we've showed that this year away from home against some big teams. Middlesbrough, off the top of my head, Norwich, even Sunderland. Dire moments we end up drawing. So I think for us as a team, nothing changes. We know they're a strong side and they carry some good strengths, but we can match them, and obviously we're going into the game to win, because it's been a couple of games now without a win, so we're desperate for a win.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anis, this is probably the first time since you joined Bristol City that you've been playing starting games week in, week out the last couple of months. How is that a challenge you've relished, like starting games every week?
A challenge? I wouldn't say a challenge I relished. I think it's what I want to do. I don't want to be coming off the bench and not starting games and then coming out of the team and then starting. I want to be playing every game, and I know I'm good enough to play every game. So yeah, it's the pressure I put on myself to deliver and keep my shirt, because there's competition in the side and everyone wants to play. So yeah, I think it's been good.
I've seen you play in a couple of different systems as well. City play with a back three or back four. How does your role change when the system changes, particularly, do you think?
I think it doesn't really change when I've been playing off the left, because we roll inside anyway, so I become like the second 10. Never really playing on the width on the left anyway, so I think as a 3 and a 4, it's different formations, but the same system, same rotations. We roll to a back 3 anyway, so for me, both formations I'm comfortable with, and yeah.
On Saturday, it's the first time George Earthy's played in that number 10 role. Just wonder what you've made of him since he joined the club in the summer, and how impressed you've been with him.
Yeah, mad impressed with him. I think, he's everything you epitomise with a young boy. He's come in, he's hungry, he wants to learn, he does extras. I've seen that because I'm out there doing the extras with him. So, and he's had to be patient for his chance, and thought he done very well on the weekend. And yeah, he just needs to keep pushing, because this is the professional game. You're not obviously going to play every game. There's going to be so much ups and downs, and you think he's just at the beginning of his career. So yeah, he's a top lad and a future star.
Liam mentioned it just a second ago, and I think Chris Hogg said it a few weeks ago, that he feels you play your best football when you're playing quickly and like with some urgency and like real direction to your game. What do you think happens in games for that to come out of you when you are playing with that directness?
I feel like I've just been overall more aggressive this season in the way I am, in terms of making the box, movements in behind, off the back line, and then obviously with the ball. And obviously the gaff always says to me here, when I'm direct, I'm hard to play against. So, but then it's also about mixing your game, because you can't always play at one pace. You have to slow them down sometimes and use 1-2s or different ways of getting off the back of them. So, but yeah, for sure I agree with him.
Has Liam done anything particular to get that out of you, that consistency that maybe other managers in the past haven't quite done, do you think?
I wouldn't say there's anything specific. Obviously, we've gone over clips together. We've analysed my games, for example. We've done extras on the pitch. And yeah, just believing in me. And showing his faith in me.
Obviously, it's a big away crowd coming to the Hawthorns on Sunday. Sorry. How big a difference does that make to you as a player on the pitch when you've got that packed away end behind you?
Yeah, massive. Obviously, it's like a 12th man, you know, so we're going to need them. Obviously, it's been frustrating of recent, but yeah, we go there with their backing and hopefully to take all 3 points.
The final thing I just wanted to ask is, where at Sunderland, you swapped sides for a bit.
Yeah.
How have you found playing on the right? Do you think it gets as much out of you, and what's the thought process behind flipping you?
Well, I'm going to play where the gaffer wants me to play, and I'm happy to do so. Obviously, it's not my preferred side, but I know I can affect games on that side too, so I'm just ready for wherever to play.
Cheers, Anis.
Thank you.
Anis, your manager's been talking about the vast improvement that you've made already this season compared to, say, a year ago. Stats prove that. He's really likes your work attitude, your attitude to work, your love for football, etc. Can you give us a bit of insight about why you think you're sort of kicking on this season?
It's hard to really say. I think I haven't changed anything, to be fair. I've just had a run of games and yeah, I just feel confident going into every game. And obviously thanks to the gaffer for, you know, showing his faith in me, but I've just kind of stepped up, more of a leader this year, and take that responsibility on going out there and performing for the team.
Yeah. According to the children of, especially the sort of Bristol City fans that I know, basically they regard you as one of the most exciting players in the Bristol City game. You've got sort of, I was just interested in where your style of football came from. Can you just talk a bit about your sort of childhood as well, where you learned to play such attacking football?
I'd say from the streets of London. You know, I've been playing football since I can remember, 3-4 years old. Grew up in an estate. So all I really wanted to do was play football in the cages, and yeah, I think that's the way I am, and I'm not going to change that. Obviously, men's football is different, but the odd time that comes out in me. So yeah, obviously, yeah, I think just started in the streets of London.
Sort of Raheem Sterling style, Saka style, you know, because that's where they sort of learn the football, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously, yeah, different parts of London, but still the same things, you know. Just enjoying it and loving football, you know. That's the reason we play the game. So, yeah, I think this year it's been me just going out with a smile on my face and showing everyone what I can do. Yeah,
what was it? Can you sort of give us a flavour of what it was like to play in those cages? Because obviously, you know, I imagine it was pretty tough.
It's been a long time now, you know.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Yeah, obviously it's just where I grew up. I don't know nothing different, so it's just what we do, you know. We used to play football every day, and yeah, I think I haven't changed from now until then. Like, love football just as much, and I want to play it every single day. So yeah, I think that's basically it.
Yeah. Whereabouts in London were you brought up?
North London.
Right. Where?
Camden, Islington.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah,
nice part of London.
Yeah. Good
interesting.
Part.
Yeah. What? Oh yeah, your manager was saying that during an international break you'll go off and watch football rather than just putting your feet up. Is that to go and watch MK Dons, or do you go and watch the sort of Premier League sides?
Bits of both. I think it's always good to go and watch different games, and you know, I enjoy being where the fans sit to feel what they feel too, and on that side. And yeah, I go and watch friends, but if not, then I'm watching Premier League games, because that's the highest level and that's where you want to be at. So look, it just goes back to me loving football and not really taking my mind off it.
Yeah. Well, can I ask, what was your sort of pathway into football? You know, after when you were a school kid, you went on trials. Can you tell us what your pathway was to becoming a pro?
So as a kid, I was at Fulham all the way till 14s, and then went to Tottenham for 2 years. Got released there, went to Norwich. I was at Norwich for about 2.5 years, and then ended up moving away from there, and being, with COVID, clubless for a little while. So I played for a non-league side just to keep fit, and then went into Wickham, where I was initially on a trial for the B team, and then done well there and kicked on ever since. So it's been a rough road, but there's more to that. There's more struggle to come, and I know that. So, and I'm ready for it, because I've never had a straight road in football.
Yeah.
And I think everyone that reaches the top always has a tough route to get there. So I'm cherishing every moment, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So can you talk us through that sort of COVID period? I didn't realise you were out. You didn't have a club. That must have been a pretty worrying time. Or did you always know you'd get through it?
Yeah, you know, because you have belief in yourself. But then there's doubts, because you're like, look, it's been 4 or 5 months now without a club. When am I going to get the opportunity to go back into a club? So I was always ready, training hard every single day, and fortunate enough that Wickham picked me up, which I obviously owe a lot to them, But now I'm here, and I look forward to continuing the season and really getting into my stride now.
Yeah. Who was the non-league side that you played for?
Woodford Town.
Sorry?
Woodford Town.
Right, yeah. Right, okay. Moving on then, and this is about your sort of upward trajectory. World Cup, the World Cup qualifying draw, obviously. You sort of ears would have pricked up as soon as your eyes would have lit up when you saw the draw. What are your thoughts on Albania being in the same group as England?
Yeah, it's obviously exciting. It's something I want to be a part of course. I've played for Albania 3 times. Had a stint where obviously I didn't get called up the past year. That's obviously been frustrating for me. But hopefully I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I get called up in March and can play against England. You want to test yourself against the best, and I look forward to it. Yeah,
well, in a way it must give you an extra incentive, and I presume everyone in the club will be sort of backing you to... Because it's great for the club as well to have someone on the international stage. Yeah,
well, I hope so. But obviously, I don't know if I'm going to get called up, so that's on the Albanian Federation to... That's a decision they have to make.
Yeah.
But I'm ready, I'm here, I'm playing games, I'm feeling sharp. I want to keep continuing to score goals, so... Yeah, hopefully come March, then I'll be there.
Yeah, and so you're excited by the prospect of playing coming up against either Kyle Walker or maybe Ben White or something like that at Wembley?
Yeah, I don't mind who I'm playing against, I always joke around with the lads, like I don't care who's in front of me, respectfully, not sounding arrogant or anything, but I know what I can do, and that's the moments you live for.
Yeah, and what are your while we're on the theme of the World Cup, what are your World Cup memories from watching it as a kid and everything? Have you got any sort of standout memories of England or Albania or... No, yeah, Albania played in the Euros, didn't they?
Euros, yeah, they never qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Probably my memory was when I was about 5 years old and Italy beating France in the final. And headbutt. That's probably my first memory of a World Cup.
Yeah, was the whole family sort of football mad as well?
Yeah, they're all football mad, yeah. My whole family loves football, and they're all behind me on this journey, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, and just to sort of fill up the picture in terms of your Albanian links, what's the story with you? Was it your mum and dad that sort of moved over here from Albania, or?
Yeah, they moved over here about probably 25 years ago, so relatively new to the country, obviously been here for a while, but yeah, I was born here. But obviously my blood's Albanian, I speak Albanian, so...
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I used to go there every year in the summer before obviously you become a professional, and you can't really go in the summer because you've got your own sacrifices, but yeah, hopefully, obviously it's a dream for me to play for Albania, so hopefully I'm playing for them in World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, it'd be great, honestly. It's the first. It kicks things off, doesn't it? England, Albania as well.
Yeah, I think that's the first game at Wembley. Yeah, you know better than me.
Yeah, that's great. I really appreciate the sort of background because I've not really spoken to you since you arrived, and I've always been interested in your sort of journey from North London to Bristol. But you're certainly doing your family proud and Albania proud here.
Well, I hope so, and long may it continue.